Hey everyone, Teo here. Today I'm reviewing the Magfit USB-C iPad Pro stand and dock. This is one of 3 products the company Magfit has sent over for review. These 2 are docking stations for the Apple Mac Mini, and I will review these 2 in their own separate reviews. This video is a sponsored video in the sense that I received these products for free. No money exchanged hands, and all the opinions in this review are my own. At the time of making this video, the price for this iPad Pro stand and dock is US $200, and there is an optional magnetic case that can work with the stand and dock. This is US $40, quite pricey. Magfit also sells a simple iPad stand that looks very similar to this, but that stand doesn't have all the ports, and that stand is US $85. Right, just to give you the bottom line up front, this is a good looking iPad Pro stand and docking station with solid build quality. It's quite well designed and the magnets are quite strong, and there are many useful ports at the bottom. The downsides: there are no USB-C output ports. In other words, you cannot transfer files with USB-C, you cannot output video signal with USB-C. The other downside is these 2 USB Type-A ports support USB 3.1 Gen 2 transfer speeds. However, when I tested them, I was only able to get less than half of the theoretical speed, in this case about 500 megabytes per second transfer speeds for these 2 ports. So for US $200 in the box, you are going to get the stand and the dock and 2 cables. This is USB-C to Lightning. This was probably included so that you can use the stand with an older iPad that still has the Lightning port. The other cable is USB-C to USB-C. Magfit calls this product a docking station, and this is foldable, which means it's portable. The weight is not that heavy, but it does have some weight, so when you have your iPad on the stand, it's not going to wobble. And the hinge is quite stiff. This is made of metal. The stand itself is metal, and this is also metal, although it feels quite hollow here because it's not solid metal throughout, as there are 10 ports below. This docking station is available in different sizes and is compatible with various iPad models depending on the size of the plate. This metal plate is quite thick, and on it there are 3 big pieces of rubber to provide padding for the iPad. This is a good looking stand with solid build quality. The edges are beveled and we have rounded corners here and a hole for the cable. The hinge is quite stiff. There are no screws to adjust the tightness of the hinge, so hopefully this will not become loose with usage in the future. This is a full-size SD card slot, and below it is a micro SD card slot. This USB Type-C is to connect to the iPad. On the back, there is a full-size HDMI port which can support 4K up to 60 Hz. This is USB 2, this is RJ45 Ethernet, and this USB-C is for power input. On this side, we have a 3.5mm audio jack, and these 2 USB Type-A ports supports USB 3.1 Gen 2 speeds. This is the optional magnetic silicone case that can work with the docking station. The interior is this soft velvet. There's a cutout for the camera. This case is not that flexible. There are some flex, but it's actually quite hard because there are metal plates on the left and right, or magnetic plates on the left and right, so that this can attach to the docking station. There are cutouts for the microphone, speakers, the power buttons here, volume buttons. There is a slot here to hold the Apple Pencil, and at the bottom a cutout for the charging port. Alright, let me put this 12.9-inch iPad Pro into the case. The fitting is quite good, and the buttons have surprisingly audible clicks. If you're using your iPad without a case, you can attach the iPad directly to the docking station magnetically. If you are using it with this silicone case with the metal or magnetic plates behind, you can attach this directly to the docking station as well. And as you can see, the magnets are quite strong. Now, one thing I don't like about this silicone case is there is no flip cover. I prefer to use a case with a flip cover so that I can put my iPad in my bag and bring it around. But there is no flip cover case option. If you happen to be using your own iPad case, chances are it's not going to work with the docking station. This is a slim case with magnets that can be used to attach to the iPad Pro. However, this case is not going to work with the docking station because there are no magnets behind the case. So if you want to put this here, yes, it's going to attach itself magnetically to the stand, but the magnets are not that strong, and if you hit it slightly, the iPad can fall off. Let's test the ports to see whether they work and how fast they are. I'm going to run the cable through this hole here and connect it to this port. This is the port to use. This USB-C port behind is just for power input. If you connect your iPad to this port, nothing will happen. So right now, I'm connecting power to the docking station. Let's test the transfer speed for the SD card. So the SD card does not go all the way in. The SD card is here. Let's see how big this folder is with all the videos. There is no info for the file size. That's how useless the Files app is on the iPad. Anyway, the file size for this folder is 5.3 gigabytes. So let's copy this. This is not a scientific test. I'm just using my stopwatch. The SD card transfer speed was similar to what I can get with the M1 Mac Mini, MacBook Air, and Microsoft Surface Pro 8. And now let's test the USB 3.1 Gen 2 speeds of these two USB ports with this NVMe SSD. And these are the transfer speeds for copying files onto the iPad with the NVMe SSD. I was able to get 536 megabytes per second. The full-size HDMI port works, but right now iPadOS 15 has very limited external display support. I have also tested the docking station with a laptop, and I was able to get 4K up to 60 Hz refresh rate on an external display. The RJ45 Ethernet port works, but the transfer speed is very slow. Anyway, I'm not very knowledgeable about Ethernet, so I cannot test this more thoroughly. Now, the power supply is not required for the iPad to work with this dock. If you want to charge the iPad, then you can connect the power supply here, and according to specifications, you can get 100 watt pass through to the iPad. If you want to use external mechanical spinning hard drives with this docking station, I highly recommend you attach external power to this because those spinning hard drives, they require more power to work. You don't want the drive to disconnect suddenly. That's not good. If you are using external SSDs, these do not require much power to work, so even if you don't attach external power to the docking station, you can still use it with SSDs. Alright, to conclude, the Magfit docking station is a beautiful looking stand and dock, and it's very functional because it has all those ports. This docking station, in my opinion, is for those who use their iPads as their main device for work. And as you can see, this is a very minimalist desktop setup, which doesn't take up too much space on your table. And this docking station can be used with a laptop as well. You can connect the cable here to a laptop to charge the laptop or to use the laptop as a host. If you want to use the laptop with the docking station, you can do so. Just disconnect the cable from the iPad and connect it to your laptop. And since there is power delivery, you can also charge the laptop. And now if you want to connect the iPad to the laptop, you will have to use a USB Type-A cable and connect it to the iPad. And this works fine. If you don't provide enough power to the docking station, this can only charge one random device out of 4 which can be connected to the docking station. Currently I'm using a 120 watt charger, so if I connect 4 devices, I can charge all 4. However, I'm not too sure how the power is allocated among 4 devices. The most notable downside for this docking station is there are no USB-C output ports. So this USB-C port is only to connect to your iPad or your laptop. This USB-C port is only for power. Another downside is I can hear the sound from the electric current as the docking station is charging my iPad. I can only hear this sound when my room is quiet. However, if there is ambient sound in the background, then I won't be able to hear the electric current. The last issue I experienced may be specific to this review unit that I have. The base is not completely flat, so you may have noticed the docking station wobbles slightly. My workaround involves taping some blue tack beneath, and now this is completely flat. As to whether this is worth $200 well, you can decide based on the findings that I have presented. All I can say is it is very convenient to have a 2-in-1 stand and dock or hub, and the silicone case is also designed to work together with the stand, so that's also quite convenient. By the way, there are countless magnetic iPad stands out there in the market, but not many are docking stations. So if you want to go with a simple magnetic stand, then you will have to buy a dock or a hub separately. So that's 2 devices versus this 2-in-1 device. If you guys have any questions regarding this docking station, let me know in the comment section below. And if you have the intention to buy this, you can use the coupon code that I have for you in the video description below to get 10% off. And if you just want to buy a simple iPad magnetic stand, do check out my other reviews because I have reviewed many. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!